All right, I think we can start the session. Okay, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. So before we proceed further, I just want to mention that by the end of this week, you guys should be, the group leader should submit the second recording. Okay, by the end of this week, the group leader should submit the second recording to the platform that I will inform later. Okay, so most probably we are going to use the same platform, which is the Google Classroom, but I will check it later. So just prepare with the recording. So by the end of this week, the group leader should need to submit the second recording. And next thing is your test will be held next Friday, and it will be held during your lecture session. So it will start at 12 p.m. and it will end at 1 p.m. So if you come in late for your test next week, you will have less time to answer the test, because by 1 o'clock, I'm going to collect your answers. Okay, so that is the latest time that I will collect your answers. So the duration for your test is approximately 1 hour. And it will be paper-based, and it will only cover topic 6. Okay, not more, not less. And it worth 20% out of your overall marks. So the structure of your test is as follow. You're going to have 10 MCQ questions. So the 10 MCQ questions worth 10 marks. And one subjective question worth 20 marks. And at the end of, later on, you will have to do the online course. It's a free online course. You will get the instruction during the test. And the duration of the course is 6 to 8 hours. And you have to finish it in about a week or so. And once you finish, you have to upload the certificate to MyTimes as a proof that you have did the certification. And then you will get 10 marks. So it's free 10 marks. Please utilize it, okay? And the total marks for your test are 40 marks. And that 40 marks will be converted into 20%. Okay? Are you guys clear regarding the test? Yes. Okay. The online course will be available starting on Friday, 1 p.m. Okay, it will be available. I will share the instruction during the test. Okay, you'll get the instruction in the test itself. And then you can start the online course whenever you are free. And it will be open for 1 week. Right? So you'll get the instruction during the test on the question itself. All right, anything else that you guys want to ask? Nope. Okay, so I hope that you are clear with your tests that will be held next week. And for the subjective question, okay, you will be given a case study, something like this. Okay, I have uploaded the case study in MyTimes for your reference. So you'll be given a case study, something like this, and then you will given a few questions, and you have to answer the questions, and you have to relate the questions with the given case study. And the question that will be asked will be something like this. Okay, so the case study, basically you have to suggest whether the company or the organization will have, is it possible to apply to go for the cloud computing technology or not for the organization? So if you say yes, obviously you have to say yes. If not, you cannot answer this question. Okay, you have to say yes. And you have to give reasons in 2 or 3 sentences. So you have to give reasons based on the scalability and also elasticity the cost, the ease of maintenance, and also the reliability. So in order to answer this type of question, you have to understand what does it mean by scalability, elasticity, the cost, the ease of maintenance, and also the reliability. All right, so all this are in your topic 6, which is under drivers for cloud computing. So for the drivers of cloud computing, there are system driver, okay, security and compliance, business drivers, technology, and drivers for cloud providers. So you have to understand the subtopic of cloud computing, which is the drivers for cloud computing. So you have the agility, the explanation of agility, the reliability, the scalability, and etc. Right. Okay, and the next question that might be asked in your test is the cloud deployment, the cloud deployment model. And if you look at the slide, okay, there are 5 cloud deployment models. Sorry, not 5, 4. Okay, you have public clouds, private clouds, community clouds, and hybrid clouds. So you have to suggest which type of cloud model that could be applied to this organization. You have to give your reasons to it, because marks will be given based on your reasons, and you have to relate your reasons or your answers with the case study that have been given. So let's say if you just list down, let's say the organization should use public cloud, and then you just give the reasons without any relationship with the case study, then you might get less marks for that. Okay, so you whatever answer that you write on your test, okay, you have to relate and put arguments and based on your recommendation, and you have to relate it with the case study. Okay, so basically these are the type of questions that will be asked in your subjective. Okay, so you have to know what are the drivers for cloud computing and the cloud deployment models. That's all. Okay, so for the not this one. Okay, the cloud service models is not important for your test. Okay, it's not important for your test. All right. Anything? Are you guys clear regarding the test now? Because many of you have messaged me previously, and I didn't answer, because I think it would be better if I explain it in the class itself. Are you guys clear with the test, the structure of the test, the topic that will be covered for your test? Yes? Okay, so that will be it for your test, and let's move on with the topic. Okay, I'll just go briefly because we don't have much time. And for the cloud computing, you have to know what is the definition of cloud computing. So cloud computing is the delivery of computing resources, such as the servers, storage, application, processors, and data on demand over the internet on pay-per-use basis. So this is the principle of cloud computing given by NIST. Okay, so we have 3 service model, the SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. So SaaS stands for software as a service. PaaS stands for platform as a service, and IaaS stands for infrastructure as a service. So this is the type of models, okay, deployment models. In this, the NIST, in the diagram, they have 4, okay, private, community, public, and hybrid. Okay, and 5 essential of cloud characteristics. It has to be on-demand self-service, broad network access, resource pooling, rapid elasticity, and measured services. And then for cloud deployment models, so we have public, private, community, and hybrid. So what is public? Public is the cloud infrastructure that is made available for open use by the general public. So that is what it means by public. And for the public cloud deployment, it may be owned, managed, and operated by business organization, academic, or government organization, or any combination of them. As for the private, the cloud infrastructure is provided for exclusive by a single organization comprising multiple consumers, and the organization is also responsible for any software or client application. All right, so this is the comparison between the public and private. So in terms of architecture or in terms of infrastructure, the public is homogeneous, the private is heterogeneous. Okay, so the resource model, shared and multi-tenant for the public, and private is dedicated. The economy model is large economy of scale for public and end-to-end control for private. And then we have the community. So community is a semi-public, it's not fully public. So the cloud infrastructure is shared by a selected group of organizations and supports a specific community. As for hybrid, it's a combination of two or more distinct cloud infrastructure. So you could have a combination of private and community, or community and public, or private and public. So the three services, we have SAS, PAS, and IaaS. So for SAS, it provides application and data services. PAS, it provides operating system, development platform, and also database platform. And IaaS provides infrastructure services to the customer. So for the drivers for cloud computing, so this is important for your tests. Okay, so we have system driver. So under system driver, we have agility, reliability, scalability, performance, and also ease of maintenance. And in terms of security and compliance, security and compliance in a cloud environment is much tighter than a traditional environment. Then we have the business drivers. So in terms of cost, biggest cost saving is moving from CapEx to OpEx. So when you do your explanation in your test, you have to explain what is CapEx and what is OpEx. So based on this definition, CapEx is capital expenditure, and a cost that often yield long-term benefits to a company. So that is what CapEx is. And OpEx are costs that often have a much shorter term benefit. Right? So CapEx is the money an organization spend for acquiring, upgrading, or expanding fixed asset that yield long-term value. And in contrast, OpEx or operating expenses is referred to the recurrent costs related to running a business. So in other words, when you do the explanation in terms of costs, you have to explain how does it affect in terms of biggest cost saving when moving from CapEx to OpEx. Okay, so if you include that in your explanation, then you will get extra marks in your test. If you just put a simple explanation in terms of cost, then you might get an average marks for the cost itself. Okay, and then consumerism. Okay, consumerism is a focus on the needs and also wants of the customer, and costlier for an IT department to provide hosts of different applications and service. And cloud will be easier and flexible. So technology, we could use the virtualization. Okay, I hope by now you should know what is virtualization. Okay, what is virtualization? What is virtualization? Okay, if you don't remember, you have to refer to the notes. Okay, so it makes possible to host multiple virtual systems on one physical system. Okay, and for technology application architecture, so previously a single application could not service multiple clients, and then bandwidth increases. So all these are under the technology drivers. And then drivers for cloud providers, economies of scale, and also recurring revenue, ambiguity, and SLA. So what does SLA stands for? What does SLA stands for? What does SLA stand for? Service Level Agreement. Okay, SLA stands for Service Level Agreement, where some providers don't offer SLA at all, or it might not be suitable for many organizations, or it's not truly substantive SLA. So when we create a cloud computing service, you have, okay, that organization or that company will need to provide the SLA, the Service Level Agreement. Okay, and then integration and security. So that would be under this one. Okay, not introduction to cloud computing. Yes, an introduction to cloud computing. And then for cloud deployment models, okay, as I told you just now, there are 4: public cloud, private, community, and hybrid. And so to be honest, you don't have to know the benefits, but maybe it could include in your explanation if you want to have a better explanation. Okay, so one of the benefits for cloud, public cloud is it has a very high value proportion, but it has some drawbacks. Okay, so in terms of availability, it increases availability over what is available internally. So when you want to explain, okay, let's say the question previously, okay, what cloud deployment model should they use, and analyze and elaborate your argument. So maybe when you elaborate your argument, maybe you could include some of the benefits that you have gone through in the notes. Okay, all right. So that is how you could include in your. That's how you could do the explanation. All right. What else? So we have benefits in terms of availability, scalability, accessibility, and also cost saving. So that's just some of the benefits when we use the public clouds. As for the drawbacks, we have integration limitation, reduced flexibility, forced downtime. Okay, all right. And for private, okay, so the benefits are like follows. You have support and troubleshooting, maintenance and monitoring. However, for the drawback, it is costly. Okay, the cost will be much higher compared to the public. The hardware and software compatibility. Okay, so you have to make sure that the software you implement is compatible with the hardware that is in your environment. And then when you apply the private clouds in your organization, you have to have the expertise. Okay. In addition, your organization may need someone who has expertise in particular cloud platform that you want to implement. All right, and we have the compliance, data, and also auditing. And for the community clouds, so you have to remember the community clouds is shared by a group of organizations that have a common purpose or a common goal. And generally, it's built to help them achieve that purpose or that goal. And these are some of the benefits. So we have costs, multi-tenancy. And then the drawback will be in terms of ownership. It needs to be clearly defined who owns the cloud computing. Is it organization A or is it organization B, something like that. And it may establish a single common organization that can own the resources. And then we have the security consideration. So in terms of data, compliance, and also auditing. And hybrid clouds, okay, so don't get confused. Hybrid clouds is not a cloud environment where some components are public and some components are private. So in hybrid, multiple separate cloud environments are connected together. So don't get confused. In hybrid clouds, it is not a cloud environment where some components are public and some are private. The multiple separate cloud environments, they are connected together via some sort of link. And has the best as well as the worst of both worlds, offer the freedom to implement whatever is necessary to meet an organization needs. So if you look at this case study, maybe you would like to suggest, for this organization to apply hybrid cloud computing. Maybe you want to suggest the organization should use the hybrid cloud computing, and then why do you suggest the organization to use hybrid cloud computing? You have to put some argument. So when you put the argument, maybe you could put some benefits, not the limitation, right? Because you are trying to support your suggestion. So in order to support your suggestion, you have to give the advantages or the benefits, not the limitation. Okay, so what else? We have the benefits. So the hybrid cloud computing, some of the benefits are maybe based on price or due to security reasons. And certain applications can be hosted in two environments, so that if one environment goes down, you can still access the application. So let's say if you take this point in your explanation, right? And if you go through the case study, let's see. So for example, from customer making online purchases. So let's say if you use hybrid computing or hybrid cloud computing. So maybe you could explain that in a way, where is that thing again? So maybe the data can be hosted in one cloud computing environment, and then let's say the one cloud computing environment A is down, it can switch to cloud computing B, something like that. So that's how you could explain. That is how you could include in your explanation in terms of the hybrid clouds, if you go for that. And then the drawbacks, I don't think you have to include the drawbacks because you have to support your suggestion. And cloud service models. So this is not important for your test, but we'll just go through. So there are three important models for the cloud service models. We have SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. This is the basic one. So SaaS delivered as a license-based product that needs to be installed in the end user device. And services provided, business services, social networks, document management, and mail services. And suitability is on-demand software for startup companies, software compatible with multiple devices, and software with varying loads. And SaaS is not suitable for real-time applications because for SaaS application, it depends on the internet connectivity, and it might not work better with low internet speed. SAS is not suitable for application with confidential data, better on-premise application. So these are some of the pros for SAS. No client-side installation and cost saving, less maintenance, ease of access, and dynamic scaling. Disasters recovery, and also multi-tenancy. So these are some of the popular SaaS providers. We have Salesforce.com, Google Apps, Microsoft Office 365, not 356. Concur, never heard of that. GoToMeeting, constant contact, Workday, Oracle, CRM, and Intech. So this is just some of the provider, some of the popular SaaS provider. There are a lot more. And PaaS, okay, it provides the development platform from the data center, and application can be developed online and deployed on the same platform. So this is just an overview of PaaS. Services provided by PaaS is programming languages, application framework, database, and other tools. So for database, okay, popular database provided include ClearDB, PostgreSQL, Cloudant, Membase, MongoDB, and Redis. I never use others. I've only used MongoDB previously. Anyone else have used ClearDB, PostgreSQL? Have you learned database? Have you guys learned database? Yes. So maybe you guys use let me guess, the SQL. What is the name of SQL? There are a lot of SQL. SQL database, the free one, is it? Okay, so the SQL Online is the free version, and it has limitation. Okay, never mind. All right. And characteristic of PaaS is all-in-one, web access to the development platform, offline access, built-in scalability, and etc. All right. So PaaS is not suitable for frequent application migration, customization at the infrastructure level, integration with on-premise application. So those are some of the pros of PaaS. And these are the cons. Okay, vendor login, security issues, depends on the internet connection. So these are some of the PaaS providers. Okay. Cloud Foundry, Google App Engine, Heroku. What's that? Okay, Microsoft Windows Azure. Okay, so for the Azure, it support .NET, PHP, Python, Ruby, and Java. And supported database, it can support SQL, Azure, MySQL, MongoDB, and CouchDB. And that's all. All right. The last one is IaaS. Okay. So this is the IaaS diagram. And then services provided, compute, storage, network, load balancer. And then characteristics, web access, centralized management, elastic, shared, blah, blah, blah. Okay, suitability of IaaS. And IaaS is not suitable when regulatory compliance does not allow off-premise hosting. Okay, when usage is minimal, when better performance is required, and when there is need for more control on physical architecture. All right, and as a summary of the IaaS provider, we have AWS, okay, Amazon Web Services, Google Compute Engine, Windows Azure, Apache, OpenNebula, and OpenStack. So these are just some of the famous ones. Okay, some of the famous ones. And if you look at here, so this is just a brief comparison between IaaS, SaaS, and also PaaS. So for IaaS, the network, the storage, compute, virtualization, and servers, all these are managed by the service provider. Okay, so if the service provider is Google, so it's being managed by Google, and if the service provider is Microsoft, so it's managed by Microsoft. And application data development, testing, and platform middleware operating system. So all these are managed by the IT architects. So that is IaaS. For PaaS, the development level until the server, all that are managed by the service provider. The application data are managed by the developer. And for the SaaS, all these, okay, are managed by the service provider. So that is the difference in terms of management for each layer in the cloud service models. All right, so that would be it. As a summary, okay, cloud computing composed 3 basic service model. Okay, we have IaaS, PaaS, and also SaaS. And general benefits of cloud service are cost saving, elastic, and dynamic scaling. And general drawbacks include security issues, interoperability issues, and the performance issues. All right. Okay. Have you guys take picture of this? Take it already, okay? So make sure you include all this explanation, okay? And obviously it's not the same, but it could be similar, all right? And please focus on the cloud computing model that you want to apply. So if you want to apply private, then you have to know what are your arguments. And if you want to apply community, you have to know the arguments as well. All right. Okay, what else I want to cover? Anything else that I forget? The assignment. Which assignment? Okay. So as I mentioned previously, at the end of the submission, there should be 4 recordings. Okay, so it's up to you how you arrange the discussion in your recordings. So what I can suggest is in recording 1, you could have 1 and maybe part of 2, or maybe full question 2, and then maybe in recording 2 you can only have question 2, and so on. So it's up to you how you arrange your recording. But at the end, I want 4 recordings that it have 5 discussion of 5 questions. Okay, discussion of 5 questions. There's no restriction. You cannot do that if you. Okay. Sorry? Recording 1? Yes, can. So it's up to you how you arrange it. But at the end, I only want 4 recordings, and in that 4 recordings, you need to have discussion of 5 questions. Because you have to remember, for your assignment number 2, it will be mainly on your contribution, on your social interaction, not on your report. Okay, so I will look at your recording closely. All right, anything else that I forget to cover? Sorry? Submission date for? Record 2. The submission date is by the end of this week. Yes, Sunday. The link, it will be available in the Google Classroom by the end of today. No, only the group leader. The group leader should be able to see it. When they open the Google Classroom, they will be able to see the link. Maybe the other Google Classroom or the same Google Classroom. Okay? Anything else that I forget to cover?
Only one more recording.
Yes, only one more recording. And then the remaining 2 will be to us next week. Yes? Okay, good. Thank you. So the peer review form will be given next Friday. Okay, the peer review form will be given next Friday. And I would like to ask you, do you mind if your team members know about the peer review marks? Huh? You don't mind? Okay, so if you don't mind, maybe I will give the peer review form to your group leader, and then the group leader will distribute to you guys. So that will be easier. Okay, that will be easier. So I will give the peer review form together with the names, ID, and then the group leader will handle the remaining. All right? Okay. Anything else that I missed? The one who messaged me, maybe I forget to, maybe I didn't reply you. Anything else that I missed? No? Later. Okay, that one later. Okay, so if you don't have any question, I think that will be it for today. And before you dismiss, for those who have not signed in the attendance, please sign in now. And don't be late for next Friday. And in case you forget, we are going to have one replacement next Wednesday. Okay? And it is between 5 to 6 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? No. It will be here. Okay, the replacement will be here. The venue has been booked. Okay, the replacement will be next Friday, 5 to 6. I think I have informed this earlier. Okay, I have informed this earlier previously. So just in case if you forget, there will be a replacement on the 10th of July, which is next Wednesday. And it will be between 5 to 6 p.m. Thank you.